All right, let's get a look at the markets, and you can see where things are headed here. Up 659 points at the open for the Dow Jones Industrials, which have been flat really since the beginning of the year. But this news of the Iranian foreign minister announcing that the Strait of Hormuz is open, basically the back has been broken of this standoff with Iran. So we're glad to have with us Guy Benson, Fox News political analyst and host of The Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio, and David Asman, Fox business anchor. Gentlemen, great to have both of you with us. David, let me start with you. Your reaction to what we're hearing and to the open of the market this morning.
Well, the Iranian got kind of topped out because everybody says that's why the markets are doing well. No, the markets did well when gold went below $90. That's when markets began to do well. It wasn't so much that they got a sense of what the Iranians were going to say about this, but it was just they were looking at everything that happened. I mean, we've talked about this, I peeked in right before this hit, and I think that this just shows that Trump won. Trump won, and the Arab nations won. The Arab nations with which we've been united since his first term won as well, because they saw Iran as the main enemy. Iran lost. China lost big time. They were losing money. They didn't want to switch to another supplier because they'd have to pay a lot more. The EU lost because they didn't pitch in to help at all with this. And I think Democrats lost, the one who were just totally over the top, saying there's no way this is going to. The blockade was a brilliant move by Donald Trump. That united the United States with China. It united the United States with the EU that didn't have enough jet fuel, for goodness sakes, because of the block. So in the end,
you may prove to be right with everything you said. However, the war is not over. Just a couple caveats here. The blockade stays, which means Iran could continue to be starved of financial money, any sort of economic lifeline. The regime is still in power. We don't know the fate of the nuclear dust or the fate or the future of its nuclear program. What we do know is that the ceasefire in Lebanon between Hezbollah and Israel, that was very important to Iran. So that is in effect as of today for the next 9 days and counting, 10 days total. Guy, where do you think we are?
I agree.
You on David's team?
I agree with David that the blockade has been a huge success for the U.S. military and a brilliant stroke by the Trump administration. I also agree that it appears that the Iranians have blinked here in a very significant way. That being said, to echo one of your previous guests, I take everything with a giant chunk of salt from Iran. They say many things, they lie all the time, so it's a trust but verify situation. And just because this seems to have at least been temporarily resolved in a positive way, and the markets love it, obviously, the underlying issues, the demands from the administration remain the same and so far unfulfilled. If the Iranians are serious about putting this to bed permanently and having any chance of the regime surviving, which I hope it does not, but if they want this to go away and maybe come into the normal world, so to speak, they need to completely abandon their nuclear programs, totally. They need to give up what Trump calls the nuclear dust. They have to forswear terrorism, so on and so forth. The demands that the vice president brought to those negotiations in Islamabad were exactly correct, and they don't disappear because of this development. I hope that the pressure has now squeezed them so hard that they're willing to get serious. This seems like a cause for cautious optimism, but I'm still waiting and seeing what happens next.
Yeah, I mean, it's great news for the market. It's great news for the opening up of the oil markets, for transit in the area. You saw this very strong statement from Dubai, also basically saying, we won, we took the hits, because this is the first time we've seen some of these Gulf states, sort of mobilize their own defenses. They were hit. They stood by the United States in this blockade, and I think we do see a very new alliance, or a solidifying of that alliance between the Gulf states and Israel and the United States.
The last thing you said is the most important. Saudi Arabia may use ports in Israel now to move their oil. I mean, how extraordinary is that? Also, the other thing that's very different about this oil shock, the past ones, we were at the mercy of the oil sheikhs. At this time, the whole world is I don't want to say at the mercy, but is dependent on what the United States does. Yes. The U.S. has become the key energy supplier and mover for the whole world.
The only people who are still suffering are the Iranian people, yes. Many of whom are still imprisoned, many of whom are on line to be executed in the streets in Tehran, and they want this regime gone. They want all of this to hurt the regime so deeply that they can't survive, Guy.
Which is the hope which is the goal for the people of Iran. We're praying for them. And it's so important, as you do on your show regularly, Martha, to highlight the barbarity of this regime vis-a-vis the people of Iran. The world screamed about Gaza, often dishonestly, when it came to civilian casualties. A lot of those same people notably silent about the people of Iran, and that's sick.
Okay, so, one more note on this. Economically, as we mentioned here, West Texas crude is down more than 10%. Just in the last 45 minutes. So the markets are moving in a big way.
There's a chance that it could go below 80 into the 70s today.
Well,
There's a possibility.
we would like that. I think the
the
break even right now is $60 a barrel is what they're saying. David, thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.